It was a scorching July afternoon in Chicago, a city alive with honking taxis, towering skyscrapers, and the constant hum of ambition. 16-year-old Liam Carter and his younger brother, 14-year-old Mason, were skating down Michigan Avenue, the wind in their hair, the city buzzing around them. The Carter boys had grown up in comfort, but never flaunted it. Their father, Daniel Carter, was a self-made millionaire who built a thriving construction empire. But unlike many wealthy men, he avoided extravagance in daily life. He wore simple clothes, drove a practical SUV, and reminded his sons constantly, "Humility will take you further than pride ever can." That's why Liam and Mason look no different from other city kids. Casual t-shirts, shorts, scuffed sneakers, skateboards in hand. Nobody could guess that their family lived in a Lakeshore Drive penthouse with floor-to-ceiling views of the skyline. As they rolled past a gleaming new luxury dealership, Mason stopped in awe. Through the glass walls sat a lineup of exotic cars, Ferraris, Bentleys, and gleaming under spotlights, 2 Rolls-Royces. "Look at that Phantom," Mason whispered. "That thing's a palace on wheels." "Let's check it out," Liam said. "We won't touch anything. Just look." Inside, the dealership sparkled with polished marble floors and the faint scent of leather. Suited salesmen hovered near wealthy customers, offering practice smiles. Liam and Mason wandered wide-eyed among the cars, whispering about horsepower and interiors. But their awe was cut short. "Hey!" a sharp voice barked. A tall salesman with slick hair and a designer tie marched over, his lips curled into a smirk. "Are you two lost?" he asked. Liam straightened. "No, sir, we're just looking." "Looking?" The man laughed bitterly. "This isn't a toy store. These cars are worth more than you'll ever see in your lifetime." Mason flushed red. "We weren't going to touch anything." The salesman sneered. "Do me a favor and leave. I don't have time for dreamers. Unless you're carrying a black card in those shorts, get out." A few customers turned, smirking at the scene. Others frowned, but said nothing. The humiliation burned in Liam's chest. Mason's eyes dropped to the floor. The salesman waved dismissively toward the door. "Go on, before I call security." The brothers walked out in silence, their pride crushed. As the glass doors shut behind them, the salesman muttered just loudly enough, "Probably don't even have bus fare." That evening, Daniel Carter returned home to find his sons unusually quiet. Over dinner, he pressed them until Liam finally told the story. Mason added how the salesman mocked them. Daniel listened carefully, his jaw tightening with every word. "So a man threw you out," he said slowly, "because he thought you weren't worth his time." The boys nodded. Daniel leaned back, eyes thoughtful but voice calm. "Sometimes people like that need to learn a lesson, not for revenge, but for respect." The next morning, Daniel made several calls. He had been planning to expand his car collection for some time. Now he had the perfect excuse. By noon, heads turned all along Michigan Avenue as 2 brand-new Rolls-Royces, a midnight blue Phantom and a silver Ghost, purred to a stop in front of the same dealership. Out stepped Daniel Carter in a sharp navy suit, followed by Liam and Mason, who looked both stunned and thrilled. Inside, the same salesman was mid-pitch with a wealthy couple. When he saw Daniel and the boys, his face drained of color. The couple excused themselves as the dealership manager hurried forward, smiling nervously. "Mr. Carter," the manager said warmly, "what an honor." Daniel's gaze never left the salesman. He walked slowly into the showroom, his sons at his side. "Yesterday," Daniel said, his voice steady but cutting, "my sons came here. They admired your cars, and this man," he gestured to the salesman, "threw them out. He mocked them. He told them they didn't belong." The room fell silent. Customers froze. Staff shifted uncomfortably. The salesman's face turned crimson. "Sir, I didn't know they were your sons." Daniel raised a hand sharply. "Stop! You shouldn't need to know someone's father to treat them with basic respect." The salesman swallowed hard. I was wrong. Please, I didn't mean to." Daniel's eyes burned with calm authority. "You judged two young men by their clothes, by their age, and you insulted them. That arrogance will cost you more than you realize." The salesman's voice cracked, desperation spilling into his tone. "Please, Mr. Carter, don't ruin me. I'll lose my job." Daniel's reply was cold, but measured. "You ruined yourself the moment you decided to belittle children instead of treating them with dignity." He turned to the manager, handing over paperwork. "These are purchase confirmations for the 2 Rolls-Royces outside. Deliver them to my residence by tonight. And let this be a reminder, never underestimate anyone who walks through those doors." The manager nodded vigorously. "Of course, Mr. Carter, this will be handled immediately." The salesman tried one last plea, his voice trembling. "Mr. Carter, I'm sorry, truly. Please believe me." His eyes softened only slightly. "I hope you are. For your sake, learn from this, because no amount of sales will ever replace integrity." With that, he turned to his sons. "Gentlemen, let's go." The 3 walked out together, heads high. This time, the customers who had smirked the day before stood in hushed awe as Liam and Mason climbed into their father's new Rolls-Royces. As they drove through Chicago, Mason burst out laughing. "Dad, that was insane!" Liam grinned. "You destroyed him without even raising your voice." Daniel chuckled. "I didn't do it to destroy anyone. I did it to teach you both something. People will judge you by your clothes, your age, your background, but your worth isn't measured by appearances. It's measured by character. Remember this, money can buy cars, but only respect builds legacy." That night, when delivery trucks pulled outside the Carters' Lakeshore Drive penthouse, neighbors leaned over balconies, whispering in disbelief. 2 gleaming Rolls-Royces now sat in the driveway under the city lights, silent monuments to a lesson in humility and pride. The story spread quickly. In Chicago's business circles, Daniel Carter's name carried even more weight. The dealership retrained its entire staff, implementing new customer service standards. As for the arrogant salesman, he resigned within weeks. Word was, no other luxury dealership in the city would hire him. His reputation stained by that one day's arrogance. But for Liam and Mason, the memory wasn't about cars or status. It was about their father standing up for them, teaching them a lesson they'd never forget. Years later, both brothers would tell the story not as a tale of wealth, but as a reminder. True worth is never defined by appearances. It's revealed by how we treat others.